Welcome to Training Without Travel, Ideas Software Training via Practical Application, presented jointly by AuditNet and Richard Cascarino and Associates. This is the first in a Training Without Travel series covering Ideas Software. This webinar covers the idea basics, getting started, and basics of importing data. I'm Jim Kaplan, founder and owner of AuditNet, and I will be moderating this webinar. Joining us is Richard Cascarino, Principal of Cascarino and Associates, who will provide you with an overview of how to get started with the idea data analysis software from Caseware. This first course will get you off to a quick start in utilizing IDEA. While basic techniques in data importing are covered, practical knowledge that can be used immediately will also be included. Let me have Richard introduce himself, give you a brief overview of his background, and then Richard will begin the agenda and the presentation. Richard, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks very much, Jim. My name is Richard Cascarino. I'm the principal of Richard Cascarino and Associates based out of Colorado in the States. My background is IT audit training and consultancy. I am a past president of the Institute of Internal Auditors in South Africa, a member of ASACA, the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, and the book that you see in front of you is being advertised simply because it's coming out in about 2 weeks' time. Okay, today's agenda, we're going to have a look at IDEA, we'll have a look at planning the audit, starting a project, importing data, and as I say, planning the audit overall. Computer-assisted audit solutions as such needed primarily because these days we're handling much bigger volumes of data coming in from multiple locations, and to handle that we need to utilize the computer to audit the computer. So over the years we've seen the advent of computer-assisted audit solutions, which includes audit tools and audit techniques, and the whole concept is to take the software and merge it into an audit program so that it doesn't become additional to it, it becomes an integrated part of it. In doing that, we need to predefine our key control questions. The problem with a lot of computer-assisted audit tools is that auditors get their hands on them and they dive into the computer, and they can spend days browsing the computer, and it's all very interesting, but it may have absolutely nothing to do with the audit that we're carrying out or supposed to be carrying out. So we need to predefine the key control questions. What is it we need to know? What are we trying to find out about? Once we've done that, then we can use the technology to analyze the data and provide the answers. The theory being, if it's done properly, that it should increase the auditor productivity. Now, a few years back, there was a survey done which indicated that many auditors had computer-assisted audit tools, but in actual fact, it had not increased productivity. And partly that was because we were not predefining those key control questions. We were just going in and browsing. And the problem with browsing is it takes a lot of time. You don't know what you're looking for. If you get there, you don't know what you found. And it really does not inspire confidence in the part of the auditee. So we want to increase our productivity, which then increases our flexibility and allows us to be creative and to start looking at the data in different ways. Some years ago, I was asked by an audit firm if I could run some CATs on a bank. What they were doing was they were trying to ensure the accuracy of the overnight interest calculation. So I asked them what the normal methodology was, and they said they would take an account of a particular type, and they would take one account from one branch and recalculate manually the overnight interest to see if it matched. And then they would do that for 3 or 4 branches, and that was it. Based on that, they drew their conclusions. Using CATs, we were able to take every single branch, every single account in every single branch, every single type of account, and apply the rules for that type of account, and recalculate the overnight interest on every single account within the bank. And we were able to do that faster than the audit clerks were able to do 3 or 4 accounts from 3 or 4 branches using a calculator. So we're able to expand what we're trying to do and how we'll get to it. And that allows us to implement a consistent methodology regardless of the size of the data that we're analyzing, regardless of the nature of the data that we're analyzing, and regardless of the location of the data. Now, we're looking at IDEA today. IDEA, Interactive Data Extraction and Analysis, has been around for a while now. It's 21 years young, and there are some limitations within IDEA. You can only handle at any one database 2.1 billion records. If you're running IDEA Express, 100,000 records depending on the operating system, but for the standard IDEA you're talking 2.1 billion records. There are also limitations on file sizes. You can only have a file up to 1.8 exabyte file sizes. Now if you're talking exabyte, we're all familiar with giga, tera, then comes peta, then comes exa. So you're talking 1.8 quintillion, which is approximately enough to take in one file all of the information in 1 million Encyclopedia Britannicas and put them onto that. Okay, so you're dealing with a very large file size. And it's going to be as big as any auditor is ever going to need to look at in one single file.